Hello, good morning. Good morning, fellas. Welcome to Coderflex meetup that's happening today. So, I'm Yeswanth. I'm here to help you understand the nitty-gritties of how to crack a big company. Big companies are many everywhere, but the opportunities that they open are limited. So, what exactly do we picture when we think of a big company? So, So what's a big company? Probably a company that's financially stable, or a company that's open to recruit people from any background, who cares about the work that they offer, and these companies offer value to the real world. So when anybody say the big companies, something that pops up into my mind are the FANG companies, aren't they? So what is a FANG? Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, and last but not least, Google. So there are other big companies also, but there is a lot of fad about these FANG companies. Probably because they are well funded, probably because they have huge revenues, and probably because they pay their engineers very well. So there are other companies like in the slide like Microsoft, Myntra, Flipkart, Goldman Sachs, Salesforce, etc. So today I'm gonna share experience of experiences and the interview experiences, the path taken by few people, three people, to land into Google. So I'm working for Google. So my name is Yeshwan. So good morning, everybody. I'm working for Google for the last 1.5 years. I have a total experience of about 6.5 to 7 years. So yeah, I landed in Google about 1.5 years ago. So like the meetup was describing, my path to Google was not straightforward. I come from an ECA background with a nominal CGPA, landed in a campus placement company in software, but worked my way through from there to land in a dream company, one of the dream companies, one of the FANG companies. So yeah, so when I was preparing for this, my friend used to help me with the guidance to land, to crack this interview. So I always thought knowledge is very precious. The lenience that my friend took in sharing this knowledge, I should probably take this lenience and share this knowledge with a lot of other people. So welcome, guys. Welcome to the live streaming today. The comments are on. If you have any questions, probably post those questions in that comments. I'll probably take a look at the last 20 minutes of the session or something, and yeah, answer some of them if possible. Thank you. So, like I was saying, I'm gonna share first experience of three persons who have cracked Google interview and right now working for Google. One of the experiences is mine. The other experience is of a fresher. I mean, a candidate who joined Google as a fresher. Basically, what I mean is, as soon as he completed his college, he started working for Google. I'm going to share two such examples. Before we delve into the experiences of any of us, briefly about me, like I was saying, I did my BTech in BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. I have a total experience of about 6.5 to 7 years, and I'm in Google for about 1.5 years. My CGPA is 6. The reason I put this CGPA part in this slide is that to emphasize that I was an average student back in college, but I have worked my way through and trying to convince as many as of you to understand that it's not what has happened, but what we have and what we should focus on today. That's rather important. So, this is my life at Google. Uh, these are my friends. My school friends came to see my office, and they loved it. Obviously, this is Google. So we had food, we had fun, and these are my colleagues. We happen to go out for lunch at least once a quarter, and few offsites once a year. two to three offsites on a year also. So hope the previous slide convinced some of you that Google is a worthy place for you to come, spend your time, and like I was saying, many of you must be very hardworking, but you might be lacking that little bit of satisfaction, little bit of care that the company offers, especially in the COVID situation that's right now happening. uh, I'm sorry to say this, but few of my friends even got fired. Not from Google. My friends from my ex companies, I got fired also, which is not good to anybody. I don't want to see that happening to anybody, not even my foe. So yeah, the big companies definitely offer that financial stability, and most of them care about the people. Yeah, that part is there. The caring about the people is what big companies can offer to an employee. So So I'll share the first experience. For me, so this is my experience programmer. I applied Google when I got around 5.5 years of experience. Uh, so I was going through the career page of Google, career.google.com, or just Google Jobs in Hyderabad or something. You will be land up with the first link, and official Google career page. And I started applying to all the jobs that I'm eligible for, basically all the software jobs that I'm eligible for. So I never thought applying in a career page will land me in an interview call, but somehow it happened. Probably that's that first time I understood the big companies care about their career pages. Career pages. So my previous company, that the career page was just a dumb site, just for the sake of having been there. So if anybody applied, yeah, they applied. That's all. Nobody responds. But that's not the case with Google. Yeah, I got a call for one of the posts that I applied. So yeah, it started from there. Uh, so to begin with, the HR called me, asked me if I was interested, talked few details, uh, general details about the job. But some of my friends had this interview questions. I mean, not interview questions, but basic questions like, what is runtime? Do you know how many primes are there between 1 and 100? Some simple basic questions, just to understand uh, the very basic bar, I guess, very basic bar that HR can ask you. So yeah, in the first phone that you get, you can expect some interaction from HR about your past experience, your interest, and probably you can expect a few basic introductory interview questions like few number puzzles, very small number puzzles, or something like that. So yeah, my first call came. This call came around June 15th or something. The next call came in August. I had to wait all the 2 months for me to get the next follow-up call. But yeah, the total process took about 3 months. I joined after 4 months from the first day, from the day I got the first call. So yeah, this is a lengthy process. I know the process is faster with other companies like Salesforce, Microsoft, LinkedIn, and Amazon. Amazon is it's very fast. So yeah, with Google it's a little slow. Not so sure why, but yeah. So yeah, so it was my dream. So let's get back to my experience again. So it was my dream in my third year to crack a big company, to crack in Google, especially when Sundar Pichai became the CEO. So that inspired me a lot. So I thought I should be part of such a big company, and it got fulfilled after about 6.5 years. So yeah, in my campus placement, I have got a decent job in a decent company, but I was not happy with the job. The first job is always good at disappointing the freshers. I don't know why. No matter how big the company you join, the first job is always disappointing for the fresher. Uh, but they understand that's the best the company they can do, and they move on. So in my case, that happened. So, but I was determined to move on to a better company. So I kept bugging this friend. He asked me to do all these data structures and OS and DBMS courses. So yeah, I followed. I So I'm an ardent fan of this data structure course taught from uh, this professor of Stanford University. I'll share that part to you. So his name is Tim Roughgarden. So this is the course that he teaches. So the new people can enroll from April 6th. This is a very good course on algorithms. This teaches all the fundas of algorithms. This guy is amazing. So yeah, if you have time and you can definitely enroll in this. And he talks in an English that's little faster. Like any native English speaker. So it took time, double the time, the length of the video to to understand what he exactly said. So every time I play the video twice or thrice, give a pause and write running notes. It's very, very important. Write running notes. So writing running notes help you visualize what is all being said in the class, in the uh, in this video lecture also. So I'll share the link. I'm gonna share this deck with you all after the course. I mean after this talk. So yeah, don't worry. This link will go nowhere. So this course has about two parts. Yeah, you get into this and he'll explain. Two parts, DSA 1, DSA 2. Yeah, I did this. I got a great understanding. And yeah, so that's about the teaching. Now, how about the practice? I'm not from EC. So my background is not EC. Sorry, I'm not from CSC. My background is not computer science. I'm an EC student. So I did all these courses. If I was in college, sorry. So if I was in college, I would have had some guidance uh, from the lecturers in how to solve the problems. There would be some kind of kicking my butt for the interviews, for the exams, or something like that. But after passing out, nobody asks you to study or something. You should swim the ocean alone. So yeah, on completing these courses, the practice part brought the Geeks for Geeks picture. So I am pretty sure most of you know what Geeks for Geeks is. So this is Geeks for Geeks. Geeks for Geeks, like the name says, geeks for geeks. I mean, other geeks for us. So here, hmm, you see here, there is this part called data structures, and there is an exhaust list of all the data structures that you can imagine, all the kind of questions that you can imagine on a given data structure, whatnot. This, if you want to get to it, it's a proper blood bath. Yeah. So this is data structures part. Similarly, there is algorithms part, and there is this interview experiences part also, right? I'm not sure where that is, but yeah, there is interview experiences part also. Microsoft, all the big companies that you can think of, Amazon, Microsoft. So every time I go for an interview, let's say I'm going for Amazon interview in about 2 3 days. So I open this, solve all the recent 5 to 10 interview experience that the guys post, and that's pretty much my preparation. So in this course also, he shares the video lectures as well as some slides also. So yeah, all these slides, two courses, it takes about 3 hours for me to revise. I revise them, and for an experienced employee, time is very very valuable. and 3 hours to revise all the basic data structure concepts. I think it's a pretty decent value for the time. So yeah, save all the slides that he shares, and you were running notes while you're going through this course, and some interview, as many interview experience as you can from this Geeks for Geeks. Now, that's about preparation and practice. Interviews. So this, I have seen a lot of people who are scared to go to interview. Why should you be scared of going to an interview? I know there's this rejection part, but a lot of my friends, a lot of people always keep saying, I need to prepare more before I go take this interview. I need some more preparation. But that's bad. You should start going to interviews as soon as possible. I keep saying this. I keep them saying this. I keep saying this to them. So yeah, you keep 30 days or 40 days deadline for your interview preparation. Then from the 31st day or the 41st day, you should definitely go give interviews, because nothing helps you prepare like the interview that you give on that day. Let's say you gave an interview today and it lasted until about 3 p.m. Let's say you got rejected at 3:30 or 4 o'clock. Then there are two parts to seeing this rejection. Either you go get depressed or something like that, or you realize you're not game enough for that interview. Maybe go negative about it or something, but end of the day you'll get back. The fighter in you will rise, and you'll start preparing for this interview like anything, these interviews like anything. That's very important. So start giving interviews as many as possible. That's really, really important if you're trying to change a company or something. So sorry for that interruption. So I am sharing my interview also here. I mean, my experience. This this is a YouTube video talking. I'm talking about my experience about how to get into Google. So it's pretty much the essence of this particular slide. Uh, it's just a 6 minute video. So if you have time, maybe you can go through that also. So next, so the perspective of one pressure. So this guy, he's a graduate from Manipal Institute of Technology. I'm sure most of you have heard what's Manipal Institute. So he started out on coding in this way. So this guy is a hardcore gamer. He played games like anything for 1.5 year, and then realized one fine day that it should stop. So he had to find some distraction for him. Luckily for him, his roommates or his neighbors in the hostel uh, were into coding. So they somehow attracted him to start participating in this coding competitions or something, and that's how he got into coding. So, so, so if you analyze this guy is pretty lucky in that case. I know friends who got frustrated and who started finding for other avocations, ended up drinking, smoking, and I'm not saying drinking and smoking are bad, but there are better things. That's what all I'm saying. This guy's case, he did the best that anybody can do. He started coding. So yeah, he took part in all the contests that he can. You name it, code chef contests, hacker rank contests, code forces contests, anything. So he says the goal is to learn. Score is not very important. I'm sure most of you have participated in some of the other coding contests, or just the practice coding or whatever. So every time you finish it, you should go back and analyze the solution for the question that's asked in that exam. We tend to forget what the question is the next day, so you probably jot it down after as soon as the exam is finished or something like that, and sit on it, understand, analyze the question, and come up with a better solution so that next time that question is asked, you don't miss it out. And so that's what this guy, ended up coding for the last 2 years of his college, or 3 years of his college. Then as part of giving all this coding contests, he gave this exam by Google also. This exam is previously called APAC. Now it's called Kickstart. Anybody can give this exam. Anybody older than 18 years of age can give this coding competition. This happens 7 times a year and suitable for 3 different time zones. So he enrolled in this particular coding contest by Google, and yeah, so he was one of the coding contests. Probably he got 400 rank all over, I guess. And then one fine day, Google called him, and yeah, things fell in place. This is the experience of this guy. So he says Google focuses on algorithms and data structures in their interviews, but that if you cannot alone focus on algo ds for interview preparation, because other companies focus on more than just algo ds. Let's say Oracle is very stringent. I mean, it's very particular about the er diagram, entity relationship diagram for the dbs that you can create, or os questions or dbms questions, like I saying. So yeah, other fields of cs are also important. It's not always good to prepare only for Google. That's what he was saying. That's what his emphasization is about. Next. So this, I'm gonna share the experience of the third guy. This guy, uh, so yeah, he said dualite. He completed MTech and BTech together. So he got into this kickstart in his 5th year. He's from NIT. So he has good environment. He has good, good CS environment where people know that Kickstart is some program by Google, and he wanted to give that program in his 5th year. Um, so yeah, he was decent in his academics, but his preparation started really only in the 5th year. He went rigorously through all these resources. I know these resources are pretty familiar to you. Geeks or Geeks, All Go Interview textbook by Karumanchi, Lead Code, Hacker Rank, Code Chef, all this, yeah. And in the 5th year, he started giving APEC. So he says there are about 7 exams in this start that happens all around there, but the first exam is generally mostly important. The chances of getting shortlisted are high for the first one. That said, but the other ones are very important too. I suggest you keep giving them. You know, so some people say, I don't want to go to this company's interview because there is a 6 month, what we call it, 6 month schooling off period. So what if I get rejected and I won't be interviewed again for the next 6 months? Let me tell this to you. Give an interview. After 6 months, you'll get another call asking for you to give another interview. So if you don't give an interview now, the chances are you will postpone it, you will procrastinate it like anything, and after 6 months also you're not on the seventh 6 months, 6 month plus 1 day, the chance are you might not have given that interview at all. So you might as well give it now and wait for the next 6 months rather than not give it at all. So yeah, this is pretty much about the 3 experiences that I want to share to you about people who cracked Google interviews. Yeah, you can post your questions. I just found out from this streaming also I can post questions. Anyway, that's about these 3 guys. Now, how to prepare for interviews? So there is this beautiful website. If you go to the careers.google.com website, they have provided a lot of resources about how to crack interviews. So they say you should practice coding, what type of algorithms you might have to focus, what are the general topics that they cover, data structures, graphs, recursion, and something like that. This is a lot of information to take. You need something to order the preparation and help you kickstart with it. So, how do you order this preparation and kickstart the preparation? The solution to put an order to your preparation is this course. Is some course that you want to follow. Join some course. They take you to all the sets of preparation that you can. I mean, all the topics that you can imagine. So yeah, so there is one video shared by this Google website. So this page has this. I'll share this also. Yeah, I have actually shared this in the slide deck. So this video is part of this page only. This video basically says how to prepare. Uh, so it's just a short 7-minute video. You can go through it and in just 7 minutes, and it helps you understand. So they're basically saying what I'm trying to say all this time. So yeah, some of the highlights that they have had are, data structures and algorithms is very important. Hash tables, stacks, arrays, queues, space-time complexity is very important. Coding on whiteboard is very important. Google interview, they ask questions and they expect you to code on a Google Doc kind of a thing. So Google Doc coding is different from IDE coding. You can't really expect intelligence, compilation errors, builds. Yeah, it's a little different. So yeah, you should be able to code on a white page also. Yes. So they can ask questions on system designs and object-oriented programming designs. And let me tell how a typical interview to Google is like. There are about 4 rounds, 4 to 5 rounds. Let's say typically 4 rounds. Uh, and before these 4 rounds are on site. And there is a fifth round also, which is basically the first round. The HR calls you and will schedule a Hangouts interview with you. This Hangouts interview is generally a software engineer, uh, first level of filtering for the software engineer role. So this in this Hangouts interview, you will be remotely interviewed by interviewers from all around the world working for Google. So I got this Hangouts interview. The guy interviewed me from New York. So needless to say, this is during the EST time that they scheduled. So yeah, late in the night this happened. Yes, I'm trying to say anybody can interview from all around the world. Mostly it's people from the same time zone, but if most of them are busy, 30-40% of the case it happens. People from different time zone. Okay. So yeah, the first Hangouts round will be on data structures and algorithms. Not very tough, mostly data structure questions. About 2 questions will be asked, and you should clear them for the next round. Next, the team specific guys comes and start interviewing questions. So once the Hangouts round is done, in about 1 week to 10 days, you will be informed about the result of this Hangouts interview. Post this, you will be invited for a on-site interview, uh, preferably the location where the team is sitting, so that the team can ask. If that's not possible, they'll probably schedule an interview in the nearest Google office to you, and those guys might connect over GVC, over video call or something like that. So it might be around 4 rounds in the next part on the same day, continuously, consecutively. So yeah, in these 4 rounds, the first round they'll probably discuss about data structures. Second round should be DS plus uh, data structures plus design questions. The third round will generally be with the technical lead of your team. He might ask some design questions of his own perspective. And the fourth round will have the hiring manager round, basically the manager who is gonna hire you. So this guy will assess you in the point of view of a uh, how strong are you are how strong you are in a product perspective. He might ask few questions like how would you make this product user base double the number that it's currently having? How would you design this question? I mean, how would you design a solution for this so and so problem? And this last round may have some other questions called googly questions. Googly is basically a term used inside Google to understand if you want to work with some other. So yeah, googly is basically understand if that guy can fit in the team. So some googly questions like, you know, how would you handle a bad manager or something like that, to only to assess how what the kind of person you are. So yeah, so about 4 to 5 interviews before you get into Google, one Hangouts, four on-site, and in these four on-site, it is mix of design and data structures. And if you're greater than 3 years experience, they might expect you to write unit tests also. Not typically write unit tests on the day of interview, but they might expect you that you have experience of writing unit tests. This is not very stringent, but it's good to have. Similarly, if you have 5 years, more than 5 years of experience, design, expecting a solution from you for a design question is definitely expected. So yeah, apart from having the knowledge about data structures, space complexity, NCK problems, you should know a lot of fundamentals of discrete maths also. Discrete maths is basically probability and application of maths in the daily life. I mean, daily situation questions. And yeah, a few fundas of OS. And during the interview, it's good to talk your thought process. Uh, something like, I'm taking this approach. Yeah, probably this is not good because this order is some other thing. Maybe I should think of using hash maps. Maybe I should think of using stacks. Oh no, I can't use stacks because this is so and so. Oh, I can't use hash map because this is so and so. Something like that. It's good to talk your thoughts because it helps the interviewer understand the kind of path you are taking to arrive at the solution. So it's good that we give the interviewer this perspective of you. Yeah, that's very good to have. It's very good to have not just for Google interview, for any interview. And last but not least, practice white paper coding. You know, white paper coding. Yeah, open a Google Doc or something like that. Um, Take up one question from Geeks for Geeks somewhere here. There are a lot of data structures questions. Take one question. Imagine you have to write this answer in an interview. Yeah, open a Google Doc and yeah, give the answer. You can do probably 2 to 3 times or 4 or 5 questions so that you get a hang of how Google Doc is unhelpful for you to write code. So that's pretty much about what I want to share today. So also we from Coderplex have a surprise for you. So we are planning to, you know, uh, create this data structure course and conduct it with many of you, some of you, as many as of you. So basically, this data structure course will teach you fundamentals of data structures and algorithms and help you guide you with understanding the fundas. Uh, so we don't want this to be a typical classroom program where some coaching institute, some great preparation or some software classes like the C Java courses. They just keep come to the classroom, keep yelling topics, and they leave, and you are supposed to catch all that whatnot. So we are trying to make this course a little different. We're trying to encourage social collaboration between the participants, and it's always good to have social collaboration, and because this fight for a big company, you're not alone here, so it's good that you fight with somebody else also. That also helps. It's always better to think with two brains rather than one brain, so collaborating with others is always good. So we want to encourage that social collaboration in this course. And we have curated a interesting list of all the resources needed for a healthy preparation of data structures and algorithms from websites like CodeChef, GitHub, uh, and stuff like that. So yeah, so if you do enough research on the internet, there are a lot of places which can offer you good amount of resources uh, for all the kinds of preparation that you can imagine. We want to provide a curated list of all this resources and help you kickstart with your preparation. So that's the main aim of this DS course that we are trying to start. The long term course will be something like a 10 to 12 weekend course, but before that, probably we will do a short crash course, 1 day long course or something like that. So, um, yeah, I encourage you to enroll in this short crash course to get a hint of how this course is going to be like down the line. Uh, yeah, that's pretty much about the course we're planning. Let your friends also know about this so that someone is always in need of some such course like this. Yeah, the short crash course and the DS course, we're going to charge a nominal fee. Uh, we'll tell the details later. Uh, they'll be put up in the community soon. This is the syllabus that we're planning to share. They say arrays, XQs, the basic fundas for the data structures and algorithms interviews. Yeah. Conclusion is, start giving interviews. If you think you need some time for preparation, prepare for like 30 days. Then from the 31st day, no matter how much you prepared, start giving interviews. Because giving interview is also part of preparation. Probably you might not crack our company A, not probably not company B, but probably you'll crack the fourth or the fifth company that come across in this interview journey. So it's very important that you give interview. And meanwhile, just like the coding competitions, once you come across a coding competition question, you should be equipped with the solution to that question so that the next time you answer it quickly. Similarly, with the interview questions, make a note of all the interview questions that you ever came across and have solutions to them. Yeah, that's pretty much what I want to share today. Let's. I want a 2 minute break. Then I'll probably come back to the Q&A. Okay. So yeah, thanks for allowing me to take this 2 minute break. Anyway, I was going to this live streaming link and looking for questions. One major question I found out is like, when is the course going to start? Yeah, so we got this delayed because of the COVID-19 situation around. We're still trying to assess whether a classroom program or a webinar like this is the right thing to do. We'll sure come to a solution. We should come to a conclusion soon and share with you details as soon as possible. So bear with us in the meanwhile. and assurance from my side, this is going to be a great course. So first we'll take a short crash course, see how the people react, take some inputs from you guys as well on how to plan this thing, and look forward. I mean, put these ideas forward in the long term course that is there, and yeah, see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's let's yeah. And I want to let you know that this course will not be just about teaching. And this quadruplex community is a huge one. We have good contacts in a lot of companies, not just the FANG companies, literally a lot of companies. So it's not tough for us to refer you somewhere. So yeah, you can expect some referral opportunities also from the community. We will see to it that all the resources that we have are fully being taken advantage of by you. Let me check if there are more questions. One of the question is, can we get a referral from current employees or any other way to chance for interview? That's always possible. Like I was saying, the Quarterplex community is very big, and most of them are ready to refer good candidates also. And yeah, there is a good. So we have this Discord app also, Discord chat box. I'm pretty sure most of you are members of the Discord app. Chat.quarterplex.org is how you can join this Discord, and this is a great platform shared by all of us for various kind of discussions or referrals or whatnot. So yeah, part of this course or not part of this course, we are ready to refer you. How to prepare for system design courses? So the system design courses, this some of this come with experience, and like us sharing about the algorithm course that I'm sharing here. Probably you can pick one course, something like this, go through it and understand. I'm not really helpful with your question, so yeah, talk with some CS guy if you can find out one system design question, and don't emphasize system design questions for interview as much as data structures, because data structures compress of about 60% of the interview. 20% is system design and 20% is managerial or HR or whatever. That said, it's not like if you do that 60% well, they will ignore this 20%. But system design questions are also very important. From my perspective, the way you can take head on with the system design questions is that your experience, your 2 years or 3 years experience in that software company should help you understand the nitty gritties of of the system that you're working on, and using those concepts, using those topics or whatnot, you should be able to create a new system, create a new design, and offer the solution to the interviewer. That's what the interviewer generally expects. Uh, so logging is common to any kind of system. So your experience will teach you that there is something called logging, and your experience will teach you there are something called as microservices. They will teach you something called um, there are schedulers available in the server. So something like that. So you should understand that there are these small concepts to any design, and you should apply those concepts to the given question. Uh, with our common sense, with our basic understanding, we'll be able to come up with some solution to the question that they ask. So you should put that solution in terms of these concepts, these technical terms, and try to answer. That's how I generally go with the system design course. I didn't prepare specially for that. Yeah. And one more question is it a project based course? So we're trying to plan it based on some project. It won't be one single project all through the course. So each topic might make you do some exercise. Probably not a project, probably a lot of exercises. Uh, yeah. I can see one question. I want to work on data science. Do I need to learn data structures to crack Google? Um, I don't have a lot of understanding on how the data science role is like, but let me take a wild guess. The data science role is an analyst role, isn't it? So, is it coding? If the answer is yes, you should prepare data structures. If the role is not coding, then probably you should not prepare a lot of data structures. If you're a CS guy, you are expected to know some fundas of data structures. So data science generally deals with a lot of DB queries, report preparation, something like that. So maybe you can expect some data related questions like uh, big data questions or something like that. I'm not really sure. So you should probably go to careers.google.com and let's see if there is a data science one here. So I'm choosing Mountain View because there are a lot of openings generally because it's a very big campus. So data scientist qualifications about the job, responsibilities, location. I don't see coding here. So not a lot of data structures is required, I guess. Or you say it's coding. If it's coding, then a lot of data structures is required. Yes. Yeah. Any more questions? I'll wait for 2 more minutes. There are no questions. I'll probably stop this. Thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today in this live streaming. It's it's a great experience for me, and I hope I have added some value to the time that you have spent with me. And please keep looking for this course that we're going to launch. Share with your friends and ask me any questions if you have. Yeah, thank you. Yes, I'll share my notes definitely. Either via the meetup link or this same YouTube streaming link. I'm gonna share my notes for sure. Thank you. One question: DevOps role, how to prepare for it? So if I'm not wrong, DevOps is between developer and tester. For DevOps, uh, the new age DevOps is all about AWS or Azure or any cloud platform that you can think. So so if you're not on .NET platform, it's always good to have good certification in AWS or good fundamental concepts about AWS is always good to have. If you're in .NET, the build engineer role is kind of you know established. You can go through some of the job descriptions and plan about how to go with it. And the idea is to understand as many tools and concepts that are there about deployment and stuff. So yeah, AWS is a good place to start. Spend some time, spend some quality time. Nothing happens in just one day, 1 week, or 1 month. You should sit on it. You should. It's not about the time frame. It's about the effort that you put from your side that will give you results. Yeah, DevOps role. My suggestion is AWS is a good place. And one more thing, I'm not a DevOps guy, so I'm sorry I'm not able to help you much with this. Catch somebody who is into DevOps and he'll be able to help. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Thank you very much.